Hello, potato.
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 Hello, Potato. Welcome to day 2 of SacAnime Winter 2024. We're back here at the Safe Credit Union, safe in name at least. And as you can see, these skies are a little bit darker today. That's because there'll be a storm a brewing. Last year we had rain during SacAnime Winter as well, but it held off until the night. I know this wind is pretty bad. I don't know how bad the mic is getting affected by that, but it's fairly windy up here. And hopefully the storm, the rain part of it at least, will hold off. Because I said yesterday that I thought the vendors hall may be a little unnavigable today just due to how busy it was yesterday and how tight those aisles are this year. If it's raining and people can't even go outside to dance around in costume and stuff, I think inside could be very, very tight. We're down here really early. It's actually just after 10 in the morning. The vendors hall is just opened. We'll go check that out first. There's not any particular reason to be down here early other than the parking garage here is kind of chaos on Saturday, and we wanted to get here before the traffic stretched out into the intersection, and we got here just as it was starting to do that. There was it wouldn't be Saturday at SacAnime without some parking snafu. I'm not sure what it was this year though. The gates just weren't going up for people. But yeah, we're parked. We're paying for the whole day anyways. Might as well use as much of it as possible. But yeah, looks like things are just getting going down there. There's people in costumes wandering in. Hopefully we can see some real nice costumes today. There's nothing I really want to do until the afternoon. The 5th gen, not Pokemon guys, not Max, but the other one is going to be doing a panel on Dungeons & Dragons, the animated series back in the 80s. I loved that show as a kid, so I definitely want to go check that out. And otherwise, yeah, we're going to play it by ear, see what is on the schedule, find things to do, and of course, spend some money. So let's go wristbands up and head into the convention.
Have your wristbands visible at the door. Go for it. Get in there.
There's more doors over here, whatever's fastest. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy. Thank you.
Okay, she said she's not going to be here.
So we're in the vendors hall now, and I can say that as it may have been rather cold outside, it's definitely not cold in here. So that would be nice for people who are maybe wearing skimpier costumes. That's definitely not going to be cold in here.
Pick it up later. Right away. Don't come back here. You're telling us that.
heard about it. This is the worst door in the world. Yeah, this why would they make it a secret?
All right, sounds good. Will we drop this? You got it, man. Go for it. You try it, though. Okay, try it.
Oh, dude, Spider-Man. That's sick.
And now everybody's saying something about it. Everybody's happy.
Let's go! Let's go, John! Let's go, John! Yeah! Come on, Jenny! Hey! Alexei! Put him up! Let's go, come on, Kyle!
Yes, thank you!
Hey, hey, hey! Hey! Come on, Eliana! The jockey! Hey! Let's go! Come on, Diana, do Hey! Let's go! Give it all! Let's go! Hey! 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 Nice! Ay, 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 ay! Hey, hey!
Yeah, it's not a strong enough dominant.
Spike?
What's up? How you doing? Yeah, do a speed, need a photo.
We need a photo. Sorry. For no worries.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons Media, a critical fail. I'm Thomas. I am part of 5th Gen, not Pokemon. Allegedly, but this is unaffiliated. This is born straight from my heart, my soul, my passion. I've been working on this since October. I've been getting 5 hours of sleep a night since like a week, just to bring this all to you today. In this panel, we're going to be talking about 4 pieces of media: the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon from 1983, Dungeons and Dragons from 2000, Dungeons and Dragons: The Elemental Might, which is also localized as Dungeons and Dragons: Wrath of the Dragon God from 2005, and Dungeons and Dragons: The Book of Vile Darkness from 2012, which was kind of the middle child out of the group. Now we're going to talk about the leader of the group, the Ranger Hank. Diana is the acrobat. She's actually sensible. There's Presto, the magician of the group. Looking at him, and based on design conventions, you can probably tell he's an introvert, the nerd of the group. He's kind of bad at what he does. Fun fact, his name is actually Presto. His parents must hate him. The other ones, they have normal names. No, his legitimate name is Presto. Bobby is really sad that his pet is dying, which, fair. In an act of conviction, he showed the most conviction to anyone has ever showed in the whole show. He said, and I quote, "Don't feel sorry for me, Sheila. Feel sorry for Avenger." It's personal. Now, I'm going to talk about a very important episode of the show. I'm not going to tell you why. I'm going to let you guess why. It shouldn't be hard. But there's a certain reason why the time lost is such a notable episode. It starts off with the gang seeing a fighter pilot in the sky, just a fighter plane. I mean, yeah, it saves them from a wyvern, and they're like, "Hey, rescue us!" They're not rescued. The pilot is then pursued by Avenger, who's, in his perspective, just some guy riding a horse in the sky. And he says, I quote, "I'm pushing Mach 1, and he's gaining on me." Do you know how fast Avenger must be? Avenger must be going actual Mach 1 then. His plan was to give Yosef, a fighter pilot, teach him how to use the fighter plane, send him back to World War II, where he'll win World War II, that will change history and make it so the player characters were never born in the first place. Yosef agrees, as Avenger is only the second most evil overlord he's ever worked for. And the group shows up and they're like, "Yosef, how could you?" And he's like, "Nah, you're about to be history, kids." And he flies off. Hank is unwilling to shoot down the plane. He's like, "I don't think I can do it. I really don't." Dungeons and Dragons is a great cartoon. I love it. It's my favorite. And everyone agrees with me because the show is canceled after this. To make things dramatic, this pursuit happens over an active volcano, and Hank, being the incredibly cool and not awful person that he is, decides to open fire on his own teammates.
Not the Nazi, but yeah. He won't kill Venture.
Yeah.
But he'll kill Eric.
Oh yeah, he's fucking murder Eric. And he does as their ship catches on fire and they fall in love. Eric and Hank are still on bad terms, and they find the key and fight over what happens to it, and it ends up with Hank accidentally falling into the abyss. Eric is there, Uni isn't though. So we've got some Grand Theft Unicorn over here. I don't know. They're back. Thanks for watching the panel.
R2D2 seems to have gotten an upgrade.
Have a good day.
Maybe one more round. My asthma kicks in the second one.
So the rain I'd hoped would hold off for the convention has not. It has broken, and it has driven everybody inside. So
Why do they not have exits?
it is
They only have entrances.
it is quite full in here now. I think we're going to take a retreat over to the hotel and try to find some lunch. Try the SacAnime menu, and then we will maybe come back and see just how bad that vendor's hall can get at peak time on Saturday during a rainstorm. We must navigate past the wall of hot dog carts. Maybe that's why they're not having the hot dogs on the SacAnime menu this year, is because if you want a hot dog, you can just buy one from any of the no less than 12 hot dog carts that are out here, all lined up in a row. It's a shame though, because I liked the chili cheese dogs that were on the past menus, but maybe we'll try a burger or some chicken tendies. So the SacAnime is strictly to go this time. I think we're still going to find somewhere to sit here to eat it, but because it is raining outside, there's definitely a place to sit over in the convention center. So I'm not sure. I mean, previously we've had at least, you know, to the table. You had the opportunity potentially to get drinks. So the only drinks over here are the alcoholic ones, which is not great. But yeah, we're gonna see what we can see here. Okay, so the Sheraton this year is doing things a little differently. They're doing it as a to-go menu. So they're just kind of making the 3 items in bulk. Yeah, so no substitutions. So I went with the Chun-Li's Kickin' Chicken Sandwich, which comes with a sriracha aioli and, unfortunately, pepper jack cheese, which is like the only part of it that I'm not particularly. Literally any other cheese would have been better. Get some fries, and I also picked up a Bender's Margarita, which is described as having tequila, coconut, lime, and silver. Now, I initially thought that it meant like silver tequila, but looking at it, it is a particularly unpleasant gray color. So thinking the silver is actually the coloring, I picked it. I was going to actually get the One Piece Punch despite not caring for One Piece because it sounded good. But when I saw this, I thought, well, that is the thing that I have to try. So let's try that first. They've given us a straw to try that with, a compost straw with a recyclable wrapper. That's good. Yeah, ooh, yeah, that feels That feels weird. It feels like plastic coated paper. That's got a weird feel. Let's give it a sniff first. Sadly, I used some hand sanitizer, and that's all I'm smelling. Also, my nose is a little stuffed up from being out in the rain. Okay, I'm getting the lime very strong, but that could be because there's just lime on top of it. All right, let's give it a taste. That is an interesting flavor. I definitely get the sourness of the lime first, and then I get the tequila. It's not as watered down as I would have thought it would be. Which is the other weird flavor, and there has to be the coconut. It has almost a little thickness to it. It's interesting. It's not unpleasant, but it's stronger than I thought it would be. I kind of thought it would be fairly watered down, but no, I can taste the tequila pretty strongly in it, which is, not a bad thing. All right, let's try our sandwich here. It's on a brioche bun, so it's fancy. And yeah, we have our sriracha aioli. Could have been a little bit more of that. We've got our chicken patty. We've got our pepper jack cheese. Let's give it a try. And make a mess all over the table. Not bad. Definitely could use more aioli. The chicken patty is, I think, just one of those like frozen ones you get like at Sam's Club or Costco, which is perfectly fine. For, I think this was, $12 this year. We have a receipt over here. Yeah, $12. So they're a little more expensive than it has been in the past. I think it was $10 last year for the SacAnime menu. But 12 is still a pretty amazing value for getting a full meal in this area. It's certainly cheaper than going to any other place where you're gonna like sit down. I mean, the upper crust is probably still the better value because it's all you can eat. But if you don't want pizza, you certainly could do worse. Let's try one of their fries. They feel like they're pretty firm. Oh, that's surprisingly good. Those are better than I thought they would be. The fries are actually quite good. The drink is interesting good. The burger for $12 is totally acceptable. And yeah, unlike the first year we did SacAnime menu, we didn't wait in line for like an hour. We got in line to having our food was maybe 20 minutes. And that's just because people in front of us in line were taking a little bit of time to decide what they wanted. Once we ordered our food, I think we had our food in less than 10 minutes. So yeah, it was a good experience, a good, I think, fairly hearty meal, and a decent drink. And then I think we will head back over to the chaos that is bound to be the vendors hall. So one bit of good news, the rain does seem to have stopped. Just time for us to head back over to the convention hall, which looks like now there's a big crowd outside of it, I guess because they can get out of the convention hall again. But I still think that vendors hall is going to be pretty packed. We're going to check it out. There's not really any other panels we're interested in seeing today. And the concert is just Annihilation and Twill Distilled again. And while I certainly enjoyed them yesterday, not enough to necessarily go see them again. Although if Annihilation had a booth, I would probably buy some merch from them. But they aren't listed as having a booth. I didn't see them anywhere in the vendors hall or there's Paradise or Style Aisle or in the autograph area. So I guess there's no merch from them, which is unfortunate. Let's head back inside, past the army of hot dog trolleys. Does it remind you at all of the seagulls from Finding Nemo? That is an inventive use of a play tent.
This is the entrance, Cody.
got your, everybody's.
One update, they have opened the big garage door into Players Paradise, but they closed the door connecting Players Paradise to Exhibitors Hall, meaning now you have no choice from this direction but to all funnel through one double door in and one double door out. Now, if you come from the other side, the doors to the street are open. So, I mean, that's if you're coming from that direction, but there's no reason to be coming from that direction. So, we're not. I mean, if you came from upstairs, I think you can get to those doors. But from coming back from lunch, we have no choice but to go through this double door here. I think it's actually so far not as bad as I would have feared. It's about normal. Just to wander about a bit.
You're very strong.
Braver than I am.
Yeah, apparently your batteries are all charged, right? Yeah. Star Wars character! Bucket's on if you have a bucket! Bucket's on!
It's Hulkbuster R2. We arrived extra early today, so I think we're gonna leave a little bit early as well. We've done our shopping. I've got some of the things I need for the haul portion of the video. Got my blind bag. I've got my mystery dice blind bag, and we've got some games and some other cool stuff. Saw some great cosplays today. Saw a really fun new panel, and tried out the Sheraton SacAnime menu. And I think that's good for day 2. We'll come back again tomorrow. Maybe not quite so bright and early, because usually the parking is not as big of an issue on day 3 as it is on day 2. And we'll close out the convention. We'll see. Probably go check out the Ash Can't Catch 'Em panel again. Yeah, we saw it back in the summer, and it was fun, and we'll see it again. And I wish there was more variety on the live stage. They do some K-pop stuff in there. I don't know if there's anything on tomorrow, but maybe we'll go check it out if there is. I'm still disappointed that Mirai doesn't have a booth to sell any merch at, but it is what it is. But it was a good second day. The problems that I kind of was afraid of in the vendors hall, I didn't really materialize. I was totally wrong on that, or maybe I wasn't totally wrong, but I didn't see it if I was right. So that is a good thing. It did not get unnavigable at any point when we were there. It was busy, like it always is on a Saturday, but I mean, yesterday's higher attendance, or at least apparent higher attendance, did not translate into just a big mess today. Interesting that they did open the big door into Players Paradise and close the pass between that room and the vendors hall, but that did just leave those 2 double doors open to get into the vendors hall, which were still kind of a bottleneck. Now, if you came from the other side of the building, yeah, there's a much greater way to get in and out on that side, but that's only if you're coming from like 7-Eleven, and we weren't. But it was still a good time. The VIP, if the VIP thing was an issue, I haven't seen it. We didn't go to any of the big, like, main events panels. The only one that I was even remotely interested in was John DiMaggio, and yeah, I've seen him before. I'm sure it'll be the same 30 questions he's asked every time at every convention, and you know, he's entertaining. But yeah, I felt fine passing on it. So yeah, we're gonna finish up today 2 here. Or rather, we're going to finish up today, day 2 here. The sun has come out, the sky is cleared, the ground is drying, and the cosplayers have again returned to the courtyard, and all is right in the SacAnime world. So I will see you momentarily for day number 3. Hello, Potato. One last time from outside the Safe Credit Union in Sacramento at SacAnime Winter 2024. It is day 3, the final day. And you can tell because if you look down there, all those people that were down there yesterday when we opened up, they're all gone. There's no queues, there's no lines, there's no big groups of people. That doesn't mean the con's going to be empty by any means, though. Sunday just happens to be a chiller day because, you know, Saturday's the big day. Saturday's the day that I thought would be a mess, and it really wasn't. It was certainly not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And Sunday's a chiller day. There are less guests, less selection of merchandise. People who've traveled to come here generally have to go home before the end of Sunday. It is a nice, crisp 49 degrees out here, but as you can see, the skies are totally clear. There should be no worries of rain today. Just it's a little on the chilly side, but you know, like California chilly, not like, you know, Wisconsin chilly. But we do need to get our tickets for the next show, for the summer show. I mean, technically I could buy the tickets for the spring show as well, which is not called SacAnime Spring this year. I've noticed on the flyers, the advertisements, refer to it as SacAnime Roseville. So I guess Anime Roseville is going to be a gone thing, because we didn't have one of those last year. It'll just be SacAnime Roseville, which is really what Anime Roseville was. It was put on by the same people. And so yeah, it'll be SacAnime Spring for that, or SacAnime Roseville rather, for that kind of mid spot between the long gap of winter and summer SacAnime. So we need to buy our tickets. I want to go see the 5th gen of Pokemon Ash Can't Catch 'em panel. Yes, we saw it back at the summer. I enjoyed it then. Yes, the schedule shows it's a Dungeons & Dragons panel, but it's by the same people, and he said they were going to do Ash Can't Catch 'em instead. And that's fine, because I enjoyed that last time. I'm sure I'll enjoy it again. And then maybe, we'll do a little more shopping. Maybe pick some artwork stuff. And at the end of it all, we will head on back to the Voidspace and look at what we have purchased. So yeah, let's go one last time, wristbands up, and head into the show. Alright, so the first thing we did was get our tickets for next time, which are now on full 8.5 by 11 paper. I feel like they want us to lose these things or damage them, because they've been on card stock for a number of years now. So it's decent printer paper, but it's still just printer paper with a big hollow sticker in the center, so I can't fold it in half. I guess I'll fold it in thirds and put it in the little pouch that I keep them in until next time. But yeah, this is kind of an odd thing to try to hold on to, not even just the rest of the day, but for the next, 8 months? Wow. So that's interesting. But we've got our tickets for next time, at least for the winter, or rather for the summer show. We will still need to go get our tickets at some point for the spring show. I'll just get those online now. Because that, of course, is the one that, being on Easter weekend, we can't go all 3 days anyways. But it's still generally cheaper to buy the weekend than to just buy Friday and Saturday separately. So yeah, so we're in. We've got our tickets. That's our main must-do for today. The rest was just, let's see what there is to do. Look around the hall a few more times. It's pretty busy. For as empty as the parking lot was, it's still pretty busy in here. But let's have ourselves a good time on this final day of SacAnime Winter 2024.
I gotta do that like girls have no
Alright, thank you.
Oh, look at the ocean.
Hi everyone, again, if you're still just coming in, yes, this is good, okay. We're gonna be doing a little K-pop random dance play. Yes, so exciting. My name is Ren, I'm your little MC for now. If you wanna come up closer, if you wanna fill in spaces. Okay. So, if you know K-pop, then you know what a random dance play is. We're gonna play little clips of the songs. You're gonna do the little dancey dance if you know it. So fun. We also have a few special little instructions, a special little part of it. You're going to hear the Pokemon Battle theme song. When you hear that, it means there's a TikTok version of that dance, a little like silly TikTok dance, or it's going to give you a longer clip of that dance. So you know how sometimes you're like ready to get into that next part and then it cuts off? That's really sad. Sometimes you're not ready to get into that next part and then it plays and you're like, oh, my bad, excuse me. So you're gonna know when it's coming because you're gonna hear that little sound. So you can prepare yourself, you can really get into it. There's just gonna be a few like that, everything else is gonna go as normal. So I hope you all have a great time. Don't be shy, join us.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2, 1.
After watching some K-pop random, I think I finally get it. TikTok dances are line dancing for Generation Mech.
She's trying to be removed.
$20. I think you should play some Star Trek pinball. Come on. All right, we're going to try a little Star Trek Next Generation pinball here.
Enterprise, have entered Federation space. Intercept immediately. Admiral Diageo out. Course laid in, sir. Engage. Congratulations, Lieutenant.
Initiate simulation.
Any good at all.
Factory ready.
Well, this is I'm no good at Star Trek pinball.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, next pose.
I love that the little one can position himself.
3, 4. Okay, last one. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Barbie Gwen, adorable.
I love it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Next pose.
Right. Barbie Gwen?
It's freaking dope. Oh, look.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was like,
It's essential.
1, 2, 3, 4. Next
MJ, here, there.
1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, next pose.
Yeah. Do you want me to balance him, Tracy? 1, 2, 3, go. Jackie, stand for the next one. Oh, never mind. She went down. Make sure you can be seen. If you can't see the photographer, she can't see you. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Whoa, Callie. Okay. Last pose. The Spideys that are not shooting you.
Okay, sorry about that.
Alright. Ready for countdown? 1, 2, 3, pose. Okay. 1, 2, 3, pose. Okay, next pose. 1, 2, 3, pose. Okay, last pose. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay.
Everybody say Yuri!
1, 2, 3.
That's Spider-Man!
Okay. Wanna switch pose a Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
That's fun.
Okay, last one.
Yes.
That's my favorite Spider-Man. That's Spider-Man. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Zelda costume. I see the Sukin of the yeah, that's the Maharaga. The Maharaga one?
So hi, if you are here because you think that this is a panel on D&D, it's not. If you're here for the Ash panel, congratulations. You're also in the wrong spot. Right? Let's go. We're not talking about Ash, right?
No, we're not talking about
No, wait. Fuck. I didn't practice for this, did you?
No.
That's okay, this is SacAnime, it's not like it's a real con. Hello everybody, I'm Max.
I'm Thomas.
And together we are the foundation for the eradication of Gen 5 Pokemon.
A good Pokemon trainer is not Ash. He's not even the best trainer here. It's Go. Go is obviously the best. Here's why. Legendary Pokemon, Ash thinks he can beat Mewtwo in a 1v1 Final Destination, no items, Fox only. Well, Go just captures a Suicune. he rescues it from Pokemon hunters, and they kind of just he captures it and lives in his backyard now. Ash, on the other hand, is getting punked in the most embarrassing way.
Actually, wait. I think we have the height disparity. Let's test this out.
Yeah.
So you'll be Ash, I'll be James.
I'm gonna charge. Go would never let that happen. They may not be, wait, go back. They may not be the baddest, but Lieutenant Surge will probably give you one if you pay him.
Yeah, Lieutenant Surge is definitely the gym leader most likely to listen to Alex Jones. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter how much you increase a stat total. Once you hit that 0 times multiplier, you're still gonna lose. But here's the benefit. Pikachu did channel his inner PG&E and light the Pewter City gym on fire. And because of OSHA mandates, the sprinkler system in the gym went off, causing Onyx to get wet. And even though the match was over and Ash forfeited, Pikachu went, I don't care, and took advantage of the situation. They go to Lavender Town. In the games, Lavender Tower is this very sad, holy place where you go to pay respect for your fallen Pokemon, kill Gary's Pokemon, or fight some weird people who have captured the ghosts of other people's Pokemon, which feels kind of messed up. That's not what it is in the anime. In the anime, it's a frat house, where Gengar and Haunter are two frat students who died in a hazing ritual and just stuck there for the rest of their lives, drinking what is obviously Tang and watching reruns of Three Stooges. So when Ash tries to engage them in a fight, it's not a normal Pokemon battle, it's a silly face-making competition. And we all know what our parents said when you make a silly face, right? Say it with me. 3, 2, 1, you die! I don't think that's what they were saying.
I don't either.
I think that's weird.
What? Though really, this isn't even the worst death he's ever had, because he drowns. In this movie, he was like, okay, May Mappy, I need to return the crystal. I will lock you in a coffin underwater, where I'm gonna swim out and save the day, and then he drowns.
Wait. So he locks Manaphy to save its life in the coffin.
Yeah.
And then he goes out.
Yeah.
But Manaphy doesn't need to breathe because it's a Pokemon.
And it's also the Prince of the Sea, and a water type, and a mythical.
Our next replacement idea is to stray away from the anime theming a little bit and do a reality show, and that reality show is, of course, just having Jigglypuff take over America's Got Talent. We don't need Simon Cowell to insult people. Jigglypuff can just slap the shit out of them instead. And every episode would end with Jigglypuff doing her own lullaby, which would help all of us go to sleep. And, I don't know, maybe America would curb its crippling melatonin addiction. Just Jigglypuff could help us sleep, and that'd be nice. The con's over, I want to sleep. So, yeah, we do most cons in Northern California, so if you go to a con, we'll probably fucking be there. If you're not going to Vanime, you should go to Vanime. Mostly because, why do I keep pitching Vanime so aggressively?
I wonder.
I'm like 10% of their content.
Yes. Thank you.
So, yeah, if there are any other questions, either way, that'll take you to our link tree. You can join our Discord. You can follow us on Twitch. We stream Anime Survivor, where we take a Survivor simulator, put anime characters in it, and just see what the fuck happens. That's literally it. It's a really dark, the Anime Survivor universe is very dark right now because Henry Kissinger is the president of the world.
He's dead.
No, he came back. He
No, not yet. I just have my...
And with that, the sun is literally setting on another SacAnime. Winter 2024 is closing. It's less than an hour. They're going to actually shut down. So it seems like a good time to head out and back to do the haul portion of the video. I have thoughts on it, and we will discuss them when we get there, as well as look at all the little pretties we have bought. But now I'm going to do a rarity on this channel. I'm going to intentionally appear in front of the camera, since I am in costume. So if my wife is watching, I'm heading home right after the convention. Please leave the line on in the Voidspace, because we will be doing a portion of video in there. And I want to thank you all for watching. Keep your stick on the ice.
Three. It's Jeffrey.
And wristbands down. So that's another SacAnime done and over with. SacAnime Winter 2024. And yeah, I broke my wristband this time. I almost had it over my thumb, and then it snapped. So yeah, thoughts on SacAnime. Of course, the cosplayers were all great. I didn't see that many that I wanted to take video of this time. So that's why there's not as many cosplayers in this video. It's not that there weren't great cosplays. It's, you know, I like to see ones that either obscure, like my own cosplay of Red Green, or just something where they've really taken it over the top, or just, a character that I really like. There were a couple that I wanted to get, but I didn't get an opportunity. I saw them, but I was doing either recording something else at the time, or it was just in a bad spot, and I just didn't run into them again when it would have been more convenient to ask them to step aside and take some video. So back at the beginning of the video, I did have some thoughts about the changes that they had made for the SacAnime. One, the VIP thing. Now, I don't know if that became a problem or not. I do know that VIPs, while they didn't have special autograph sessions like they used to do, they did have the ability to essentially skip the line for the autographs. I didn't record it, but in the autograph area, there were big windy lines taped on the floor for normal people, and then much shorter straight to the front of the line lines for VIPs. So, I mean, they did get in a very short line to then pay a lot of money to have somebody sign a thing, which, again, I mean, they had big lines. There were times we went past there and there were lines that were full. They had somebody standing with a line full sign at the end of the queue. And so I guess my thoughts about the autographs being too expensive, clearly not an issue for a lot of people. So it's just, that may just be me being old. It's also a non-issue. But as far as the VIP thing and panels, I didn't go to any of those panels. We went to the live room and to the 5th Gen Not Pokemon panels, and that was really about it as far as panels or things in the rooms. We didn't go to see the voice actor panels because, honestly, other than Colleen Clinkenbeard and John DiMaggio, I'm not familiar with a lot of these people. And they're from anime that I don't watch, so I mean, I'm sure the Hell of a Boss panel is probably great, but I haven't actually watched Hell of a Boss. I only know Hell of a Boss even exists because I believe I've seen Saberspark do a video on it, but I haven't actually watched it myself. So just it didn't do anything for me, so I didn't go to it. But I think it was cool that they had the whole voice cast there. That was pretty great for those who were fans of it. As far as I know, the VIP thing did not become an issue, and that may change as I see more people comment their own little wrap-ups of the show. Maybe some people had problems. I didn't see that. So if it was a problem, it wasn't a problem that affected me. And that sounds selfish, but I didn't see evidence of it being a problem. The other thing I thought would be an issue was the new layout of the vendors hall. I thought Saturday would just be jam-packed with how busy it was on Friday, with the fact it was supposed to rain on Saturday and did. And that didn't really materialize either, at least not at any point when I was in there. I did spend less time in the vendor hall than normal. We spent more time in the 5th Gen Up Pokemon panels and in the live room than we normally would. And even just sitting around outside. That's not, not a lot of video of that. But sitting outside, enjoying a coffee. We did go check out the Spider-Verse cosplay gathering for photos, and that was pretty cool. A lot of great costumes there. Maybe next time, I'll try some of the other gatherings, but next time, I'm not counting spring here. Next time will be in August, and it'll probably be 120 degrees out there, so maybe not. I don't know. It's not so comfortable to spend time outside at the summer show as it is at the winter show. Ironically enough, I mean, it's easier to bundle up and sit outside in the winter than it is to unbundle and sit out there in the summer. Maybe the weather will be nice. We'll find out. Again, this spring before that, and we'll go there too, at least for a couple of days of that. However, I do still think that the vendor hall's new setup, I like to go up and down each row and look at everything. And this new little thing with, a row here and then a little cluster, row here, little cluster, that makes it hard to do that because in the middle of the clusters, there are booths. And if I just go up and down the aisles, I'm not seeing all those middle cluster booths. And there were some that I, genuinely like. The pottery person, Lindsay, I've forgotten her name. We didn't buy anything from her this time. But she was in a middle spot this time, and a much smaller spot. And that was another thing I noticed, is that there were a number of vendors who normally have like double wide spots or have corner spots that were into single spots. Yay for Anime is usually on a corner with like a double spot and has all their snacks all laid out for everybody. And this time they were just kind of jammed in the middle with a single spot. And on Sunday I was very surprised. I don't know if there's any video of it. I obviously haven't edited yet. You've seen it, or you've at least fast forwarded through it. But I don't know if there is any video of Sunday, but they had a lot of food left, which normally on Sunday they have very little left. And I noticed with a few other booths. There was the booth that always sells the like Fallout stuff and the Resident Evil stuff and the fake ID badges, which feels very 90s to me, but I guess they sell. That one's usually a double space booth and it's only single space time. And honestly, I didn't even notice it until Sunday. There are a number of booths that I normally check out that, due to the new layout and just my own, I guess, inattentiveness, I didn't notice until Sunday, including that booth, including Citrus Atelier over in Artist Alley. I didn't buy anything from her this time either, but I legitimately, Friday and Saturday, specifically thought she wasn't there. We must have passed her booth, but yeah, I thought she wasn't there. I didn't see her because there were a number of vendors who weren't there. A number of recognizable ones I don't necessarily know the names of, but I know their wares, and they weren't there. And I think it comes down to, I talked to one of the vendors. I think I mentioned this earlier in the video. I talked to one of the vendors, and they said that like Artist Alley had been cut down by half, and that there definitely was a smaller setup. And also, I don't think the map that SacAnime had online was accurate, because after we looked at the Players Paradise area, we went to go find Kimchi Kawaii, always one of our first stops, and I could swear the map showed her like being in the back corner, and she was actually like more towards the center. So that's that could just be not reading the map properly though too. That's entirely possible. I do think at least that the vendor's room should go back to the longer aisles and less of the clusters. I mean, obviously they should listen to what the vendors have to say on that. If they like this new setup, then I guess they should keep it. But the vendor I spoke to was not thrilled with it. Now, what I liked that Artist Alley was kind of in its own area, not kind of stuck at the end of the vendor's hall. It made it, of course, much easier just to turn the camera off when I go into the area and look at just artist stuff. Normally what we do, because the Artist Alley sections aren't even like lined up properly with the normal vendor rows normally. So we end up doing the vendor rows and then going back and doing the Artist Alley rows afterwards. This just made that easier by having them be behind not a wall, but a curtain, where you just had just a couple rows of just Artist Alley. And that area actually did get pretty busy on, I think, Sunday. We found that area actually pretty packed up, which was interesting because the parking garage was not super full, but Sunday did seem to be quite busy. Now, what I liked that they put the 18 plus stuff in its own area. It's not my thing. We went in there literally the one time where I quickly determined that I definitely couldn't be videoing in there, or at least I could video, but I couldn't do anything with it because it was what I thought it was going to be. It was all the like body pillows and stuff without post-it notes covering the naughty bits. That's what I expected to be. I did overthink it was going to be, I don't know, like more vendors in there. It was very small. Same thing with the style aisle, which again, I think is a good idea. We did actually buy a thing in the style aisle. I think it's a good idea, and I think it needed more vendors, but I think it's something they should develop. There were some weird things about placement of things, though. Like, there was an artist in the underground, in the adult section, who I didn't see anything at their booth that was not family friendly. I didn't understand why they were there. I don't know if like that was the only spot available, so they took it. But I mean, I feel like that it would have been a disservice because their art was nice, but I didn't see anything. I saw more adult stuff in the normal artist alley area and in the normal vendor area than anything at this person's booth. So I don't know what happened there. Similarly, there were things over in the Player's Paradise area that didn't really seem to be game related, like the cosplay swords and stuff, while there were things over in the normal vendors hall that were clearly predominantly like Pokemon cards, and seems that they would have been better off over in Player's Paradise. So I'm not sure how the organizational process works, like if you ask where you want to be and they put you there based on room, or I don't know how that works. I'm not a vendor, but it just seems like there were things in areas that they would have been better suited in other areas. Now, Player's Paradise, I did like Player's Paradise. I don't necessarily know that it needs to be there because I think the vendors hall should take up that whole space. But I did like it. I know they've always had the board games and stuff. I just never have gone in there, and we didn't try any this time. And it seemed like a lot of people were using the space to just have tables to eat at. But I also noticed a lot of people playing games. There should be some video of it, and I think it was a really good idea. And honestly, I feel like I've done myself a disservice by never checking it out before. Again, we didn't check any games out in there, but maybe in the future we will. That might be a good thing to do in the summer when it's too hot to be outside and you just don't want to walk around the vendors hall anymore. That might be a good thing to do then. But I liked the free play video games being in there. I only played like one pinball game, but I liked that they were there. I liked that they had the esports area and that they had the tournament area. And I think a lot of those things were already pre-existing. They just weren't in places that I ever, went and checked out. So I do like Player's Paradise. I just maybe think it needs to be put it in one of the ballrooms or something, or I don't know, it definitely needs a big space like that. I think having vendors in there is a good idea because that's probably why we've never checked it out, because unless we were going to play a game, there was no reason to go in. Yeah, I liked that. I actually liked that one of our regular booths, Kobold's Keep, was in there, and they actually were one of the few booths we saw that were recognizable that got a larger space than what they had before, because normally they're in a small single space, kind of cramped in, kind of hard to get into. They're usually on a corner, but it's kind of hard to get into their booth. This time they had a double space. They had lots of room. It was still a busy booth, but it was easier to get into. So overall, yeah, still a good show. Obviously not perfect. I didn't run into a lot of the issues we have in the past. The parking wasn't an issue because we went there early on Saturday, which is the day the parking is usually an issue. We never did go check out the upper crust and have our pizza, so that's kind of unfortunate, but was trying to curb the spending a little bit this time because just a little more wiped out than normal after Christmas this year. And with that said, I suppose we should probably just go into the haul section of the video. Mostly, I enjoyed myself. I had a good time at the show. We, I think, spent about 6 hours there each day. The fees for parking were a little weird. It was like $15 on Saturday, $30 on Friday, and $25 on Sunday. I have no idea what the thinking there was, but whatever. But I do think the only real complaint that I would have about the convention is that we still don't have a viewing room. I really enjoyed the viewing room. It was a good opportunity to watch anime I may not actually normally watch. Things that are like kind of fresh from Japan, because I don't normally watch subtitled stuff at home, because I'm usually playing video games while I'm watching, and therefore having to sit there and read doesn't really work. I'm not against subtitles, it's just inconvenient. So I do wish they would bring back the viewing room, because that's like the only time I've ever seen things like Laid Back Camp, or Yuru Camp, I think was the anime name. And I haven't seen that show up on any streaming service, even subtitled. I think it's on Crunchyroll, which I don't have. And I really like that book. I would like to watch more of the anime, but at least I got to see the first couple episodes at SacAnime like the last year. They had a viewing room, which would have been 2019, I guess, right before the convention center closed. But yeah, I wish they'd bring back the viewing room. That's like my one real, honest complaint and thing that I miss from SacAnime pre-End of the World. Because obviously it's not a proximity of people issue. They have no problem cramming us all into small spaces without masks. And I didn't wear a mask either. I'm not criticizing that. It's our choices nowadays. We've all either had it and or been vaxxed, or we just accept the risk. Whatever. I mean, obviously there are people who are like immunocompromised, and it's more complicated than that. But for the majority of us, we've either been vaxxed and or we've had it. Anyway, on to the haul portion of the video. So, this time we did not purchase any Funko Pops. I had intended up until yesterday to say we hadn't purchased any action figures, but that changed. I didn't buy anything from that one Lego booth that has the kind of weirdly priced Lego in dubious condition boxes. This is actually the first year they didn't have anything at their booth that I particularly wanted. The only things I saw there that were interesting were the same price they were at Lego store, where I would have gotten them for, you know, the same price in a better box and gotten Lego Insider points for them. So we didn't buy anything from them this time either. But I only bought one action figure, and that was from, I guess they're called Comics and Figure Addicts. I've bought stuff from them before, and that was the Buzz Lightyear figure. He was $10. He's like 30 or 40 bucks on Amazon in box. And while I'm pretty sure he is missing accessories, I'm pretty sure he came with like that big plasma cutting sword saber cleaver thing. And he doesn't have it here. He does still have socks and Socks' carrier, which I think is more important than the sword. Yeah, Socks is in the carrier. So for 10 bucks, I figured I'd pick him up. Plus, you know, if I bought him in the box, I'd probably just leave him in the box. This way he's out. I might do something with him. And the reason I picked him up is if you watched last spring, I think it was, almost a year ago now, when we went to the Lego outlet, or not Lego outlet, I wish it was a Lego outlet, when we went to the Disney outlet at San Francisco Outlets in Livermore, they had the Lightyear Alpha Class figures for like $5 a piece or something like that. And I bought all of them, but the only ones I didn't have were Buzz. And I don't think they had Zurg either. I'm not less triggered by Zurg being missing, but they didn't have Buzz. And so I've been kind of wanting to pick him up to go with the rest of the set, because I think these are like really nicely articulated figures, pretty well sculpted. And yeah, I wanted to pick him up. And for 10 bucks, he was sitting there. I saw him on Sunday. I could not pass him up for $10. But that's the only action figure we bought. We didn't buy any Star Wars figures or Marvel Legends or anything. So, you know, again, we were relatively restrained this year. Now, normally I have rules about going to the convention, and the main rule is, and there are exceptions to it, the main rule is you don't buy things on your first time through the room. And there are exceptions for things that I know I'm going to buy. I know I'm going to buy a blind bag of dice from Kobold's Keep. I know I'm going to buy something at Kimchi Kawaii. Plus, I mean, nobody else sells blind bag dice, or at least not the type that Kobold's Keep sells, which is Foam Brain or that other brand, Gatekeeper. Kimchi Kawaii is another one that we always buy at the first time, because again, nobody's going to have Kimchi Kawaii stuff other than Kimchi Kawaii. But a lot of times it comes down to ultimately, one, not buying a thing and then find something you like more and not having the money for it. But the other is buying a thing and then finding it cheaper somewhere else. And that's kind of the situation with our next item here. From LED Gengar, we did pick up some Lorcana Rise of the Floodborn boosters. Now, we're not going to open those in this video. I'm going to save that because I have the Rise of the Floodborn starter decks as well, which we haven't looked at yet. So I will be doing that probably in the next couple of weeks. But they were $8 a pack. Now, considering that boosters last time around were $20 a pack at the one booth that had them, I felt $8 was pretty reasonable. So we picked up one of each, figuring, you know, we'll do them in the video. And then literally next door at A&B Comics, they had the same boosters for $2 less, $6 a pack, which I picked up another 3, because why not? So yeah, that is why you don't pick up things on the first time around the room, because literally a minute after walking away from this booth, we found them at another booth for less. So that's a lesson learned. However, this booth we also did pick up some card sleeves. My wife picked up the Mickey Mouse ones, and I got the Captain Hook ones because they were the best ones they had. They didn't have like that Winnie the Pooh, like Honey Wizard. I think that may just be a playmat though. So yeah, for 10 each, again, that seemed pretty reasonable, and there was actually a fair amount of Lorcana stuff. Interesting thing. So, maybe not interesting to you, maybe interesting to me. So they had the starter decks again, the original first series starter deck, chapter 1 starter decks, that had the booster packs in them again, which is weird because the ones I've been seeing in shops and stuff, and even the ones that Shop Disney had when they did the re-release, were the ones that didn't have booster packs. Now, that's interesting, but what's even more interesting, I thought, was that A&B Comics was selling the starter decks out of the box, so they didn't have the little damage counters, or instructions, playmat, or of course, booster pack. They were selling just the decks by themselves for $5 each. So apparently, the value of everything else that came in those starter decks for like $17, only $5 of that is actually the deck you need to play the game with. So I thought that was interesting. But we already have all the starter decks that are currently available, so we didn't buy any more of those. We actually bought quite a bit while in Players Paradise. The next thing is also from there. I don't remember what the name of the booth was, though, unfortunately. We went to it a couple times. But we thought this looked interesting. Bike Route Sacramento. So, I mean, obviously, this is not a game that's going to have a huge amount of appeal outside of the local area, or necessarily even in the local area. But it seemed interesting. It's by Table Star Games. Apparently, they're in Elk Grove. It is a local game made by local people, manufactured in China, of course. But idea is to ride around Sacramento on a bike. And you have a lot of things, a lot of like local landmarks here, like Land Park, Tower Theater, Broadway, the Alhambra, the Fab 40s, which is an area of nice older homes. We've got here, got West Sac, which is not technically Sacramento, but that's like over like where IKEA is. Got Tower Bridge. We've got the Capitol, of course. And then we had the baseball stadiums on here somewhere too. There it is, the ballpark, which I noticed does not say the name of the ballpark or the name of the team that plays there. I don't know if that's a choice or a licensing issue. But this looking drink, it's for 2 to 4 players. Seemed like a pretty chill kind of game. They were selling it for $25. I guess we were the first people to like show interest in it, so they gave it to us for $20. So we figured check it out, and maybe we'll look at that in a future video. Probably not, though. I say that when we buy these games like every anime, and we never do. Maybe one instance we'll switch format a little bit and become more of a board gaming channel for a bit, and I just can figure out how to set the camera up, and I don't know, that seems like more like a live stream sort of thing, and I don't have enough subscribers to bother with live streams yet, All right, next we'll just cover the last things we bought in Player Paradise, and that of course is from Kobold's Keep at their new and larger booth. I think one of the few booths I went to that actually I think benefited from this change by getting a larger booth. At Kobold's Keep, they have a real store in Sparks, Nevada, which if I was ever in Sparks, Nevada, I would probably go check it out. But I don't think I've actually been out of California in like 20 years. I haven't left the state in a long time. Probably need to. We stopped there a couple times. The first time, of course, we picked up our blind bag of dice, which will open at the end of the video. They had some foam rain stuff, but they had the Gatekeeper games and dice. And honestly, I think I kind of like the Gatekeeper ones better than the foam rain anyways. And I'm glad, this is one of the things, I'm glad I picked it up first thing when we found their booth, because they didn't have any left on Saturday when I went back to their booth. So I'm glad I picked up the one when I did. But yeah, we'll put that aside, we'll open that at the end. Also, when I went back on Saturday, I did pick up a game, Momiji. It's a game where you collect falling leaves. Again, seems kind of chill. In Momiji, you must carefully manage your hand of cards to collect gorgeous autumn leaves as they fall from the trees of the Imperial Garden. So yeah, that just seems like a potentially fun little chill game. And actually, it's a single player, I think, too. You can play it by yourself. I think it was like 1 to 4. Yeah, 1 to 4 players, ages 8 and up. So that could just be like a kind of chill little, like solitaire kind of game, if you don't want to just play solitaire. So we're talking about booths that we just buy from the first time we see them. Let's move on to Kimchi Kawaii. We actually have all the plush she had for sale. She had the new dragon plush on display on Saturday and Sunday, like its prototype versions. And those are pretty cute. We have the like original like dragon dog she did a few years ago. I don't know if we'll pick up one of the newer ones or not, but as far as all the plush that she had, we have all the ones that we want. I mean, I think she had the water mola, but we're not interested in that one. But like all the Barista Poffy plush were there, or not all of them were there, but all the ones that were there we have. She still had some Christmas ones though. She doesn't usually have Christmas stuff at the January show. Sadly, she didn't have the Jingle Bell Rock. I don't know if she's even making that, and I think it's on her site though, so maybe she still is. But yeah, we wanted to get a second Jingle Bell Rock for a while, but the first one was only a fluke because I think the way she explained it, that she'd had such a big day on Saturday that she overnight had just gone to her storage and grabbed anything that was in sellable condition. And Jingle Bell Rock was one of them. It's the only reason we ever even have a Jingle Bell Rock, because there's no SacAnime right before Christmas time. But so since we didn't buy any plush, we did buy some pins. My wife picked out a couple, and we have the pumpkin spice latte. And the Yeti, a little cute sparkly Yeti. I don't know if the camera catches the glitter, but it's a very sparkly, glittery Yeti. It's very cute. And then I picked out, actually from the she had a little bargain bin of pins, I picked out the musubi, because I like a musubi. Although musubi has considerably more cow and less rice than a musubi. Yeah, gotta get our Kimchi Kawaii fix. We always do when we see her at one of these shows. I'd like to go with like the big things, another one from a booth that we usually buy things from, and that is Shark Robot, purveyor of fairly decent and interesting shirts. We picked up a couple. Sunday they were having a like clearance sale, and the one I would have bought was sold out, of course, in my size. Oh, actually, in almost all sizes. They only had left in small and medium. Because obviously I'm not the one that thought it was a nice shirt. But they had this one as a follow-up. I bought one that says, I hate everyone equally. And Shark Robot shirts are usually, they're nice and thick, good colors on them. They seem to wear pretty well. They're comfortable. They're not like small for the size. And so they were 2 for $40. My wife picked up a shirt as well. I believe this one was called Dark Tech. And it is a very interesting drawing of Darth Vader. So the shirts to wear to future conventions. Put that over there. All right, it's all like small stuff from here, except for, of course, the blind bag. There's a blind bag. I did buy a big mystery bag, which I have high hopes for this one. Let's start with the smallest of the small. My wife has started wearing Crocs, at least around the house, so she bought some Crocs charms. They were, I think, 4 for $10, and I think she bought 8 of them, or maybe it was 3 for $10, and she bought 6 of them. But naturally, when we saw them, she had to pick up Haunted Mansion Croc charms. She actually has a Haunted Mansion set of Crocs. I think I covered it in a video before, and they supposedly glow in the dark. Let's try lowering the lights in here a little bit and see if they do. Okay, yeah, they do seem to be glowing a bit. Let's put the black light on. Yeah, that's fairly decent. We have Hatbox. We don't have Ezra. I dropped him. We have Ezra. We have Phineas. And we have Gus. And then we have the mansion itself. Which, yeah, it does have like little highlights on it. Do glow. Can you see that? I think it might still be a little too bright in here with the head. But yeah, those are pretty cool. guess she can help you find your shoes in the dark. Get some lights back on. So they all look in the light. Cute little renditions of the Hitchhiking Ghosts and Hatbox. Then they had a Leota as well, but I don't think it looked as good. The mansion, which is of course the proper mansion, not Florida. And then just, because they were 4 for $10, she picked up 3 more to fill out that second 10. I know, it's got a little bit of, there we go, fix that. We got Mickey and Minnie, and we got a little gingerbread Mickey. So yeah, those were cute. I don't recall seeing a lot of Crocs trims. I've seen a lot at the fairs of this year. A lot of fair stuff had Crocs trims. I think we bought some at the Sacramento Fair. Maybe it was a state fair. It was definitely at Cal Expo. Next up, we did have something that is an absolute first for us. We actually intentionally bought some of those like little Sega arcade statues. Normally, I just get those kind of things out of the blind bags. Like, I don't know if you can see her on camera. I think she might be blocked by the bus, but I have the little Anya Forger I got, I think last year sometime at one of the anime shows. I got her one of those. This time we did buy some intentionally. We picked up a Yor and Lloyd Forger little statue of them each sitting. Kind of like the Anya one, he's sitting with his legs sticking off of something, and Yor is just kind of sitting flat on it. They also had a version of them in like a family portrait kind of setting. She was sitting in a chair in her like not assassination outfit, and he didn't have his gloves on, which is like the only way you can tell Lloyd is either in Twilight mode or not, as if he has the gloves on. But we didn't pick up that one because then we would have had to get an Anya. I think the Anya I have, Anya's not really to scale to them anyways in the show, because her head is like larger than the rest of her body and certainly larger than theirs. So I don't think the Anya I have is exactly the right scale, but it works. It'll work. So Anya may be coming out of off the background there. Not I think you can even see her anymore. But yeah, I think she may join Lloyd and Yor on display somewhere else in the house. Yeah, we actually just recently finished watching the first season of Spy Family. Quite enjoyed it. I do feel it in the second half of the first season got a little bogged down on itself, but I think it picked up at the end. All right, we're in the home stretch now. Just a couple things left here. Next, we'll look at the thing we bought up in the style aisle. Again, I don't remember the name of the booth it was from, but my wife picked out this cute little crocheted sunflower in just, some little fancy embellishments, hanging off a doorknob or something maybe. I'm not totally sure. They had a couple different styles of sunflower. They had this one, they had like one that was more orangey, but she liked the yellowy one better. So we picked that up. And then I did pick up a knockoff Lego. So if you watch my other videos, and realistically you probably aren't even watching this, because this video probably is like 2 hours long. I haven't started editing yet, but I know there's a lot of footage to go through. I have repeatedly complained about not having a Lego T-Rex, and how the only sets to buy them in are like $100, and individually, like at Brickpalooza, they're like $40, $50, $60, $70 just for the dinosaur, which means I might as well just buy the Lego set. However, they did have at one of the knockoff booths this guy for $10. Now, he does feel a bit more slight than like the Carnotaur that I use in the Spring Village and the Halloween Village. But he is constructed very similarly. It's got the little clicky joint. It's a little squeakier click, but it's a clicky joint in the neck, in the tail, the legs. Oh, he's got a little bit of a... Is that spilled on him? Nope, that is doesn't look like that's coming off. It's glue or something though. Yep, I did pick up, for $10, I picked up a knockoff Lego T-Rex. At least it'll do me until I find a proper Lego T-Rex for either a reasonable price or in a set that I find compelling enough to buy it. So he'll be joining I still haven't taken down the Holiday Village. He'll be joining the Summer Village. I still have to put together the Spring Village, the modular buildings. When I set that up, And I still need to put together the Natural History Museum, which I think he will go perfect with. And then I think penultimately, I think this is our second to last item. Penultimately, I did pick up one item in Artist Alley. And we picked up stuff from here before. I think the little, again, you don't think you can see it right now because I think it's obscured by something. But I picked up a little resin mushroom at one of the conventions last year from, I think from the same person, Autumn Lee Creations. And this year, she had a variety of little resin ghosts. Most of them were just, you know, they're like your kind of standard sheet ghost looking thing. But this one I think stood out, was a different model than the rest of them. I picked up this little guy, and he also glows in the dark. I'm not gonna fight with the lights again, but we'll see if we can't charge him up a little bit. He doesn't. I don't think he super glows, but there is like, yeah, he'll be in the background somewhere eventually. You'll see him glow. I'm not gonna do the lights off again. Yeah, picked up this adorable little resin ghost from Autumn Lee Creations. All right, so finally that brings us to the end. The last thing, the main thing, the big thing, if you're still here for this far, it's probably the thing you want to see, and that is the mystery bag. Yes, I bought a mystery bag. It's from that one that's usually at the front. I don't remember if it's Toy Fusion. I think might be what they were called. But yeah, I picked up a mystery bag from them. And I was thinking they had, thinking of getting like a Spy Family one, but then we bought some actual Spy Family statues. And like, well, between that and the Anya I got from a mystery bag, which I think actually was from them as well, in the past, we will almost certainly get a duplicate. And then I think I just broke my T-Rex. Nope, he's okay. T-Rex is okay. Put you over there. I'm trying to clear space because it's kind of a larger bag. And it was they had a Steins Gate bag, which I was looking at, and then we saw this one. And I say that like it's going to say anything on the bag. They take the little tags off the bag when they take them back, I guess because they're going to reuse that little piece of paper on the next. Speaking of piece of paper, yeah, the preview tickets this time, or the pre-purchase tickets this time, were on like just 8.5 by 11 printer paper. What's up with that? It's hard enough to hold on to a piece of cardstock for 8 months without getting damaged. But a full-on piece of printer paper? I mean, I have to fold it up just to put it where I normally keep the cards. Anyways, yeah, not a fan of that. I don't know what happened there. There's probably a story to that. All right, this video is going on way too long. We're like at 40 minutes now. And yeah, we need to finish up. So, yeah, there's our big blind bag. It is Cowboy Bebop. I do have some Cowboy Bebop stuff. I have an old Figure Arts figure. I have a couple, like literally like 20-year-old statues in a display case in here. So I'm almost 100% sure this will not be anything that I already have. Before that, let's look at our dice. Kind of look at our bag of dice. It's time to open the blind bags. Again, the Lorcana cards, not going to open today. Those will get their own video later on, because this video is already, again, like way too long. This is like a 40-minute segment tacked onto the end of it's probably an 1.5 to 2 hour long video. It's yeah, it's gonna be a feature length. So what did we get this time? Ooh, these are kind of neat, kind of purple and black. And I think Gatekeeper names theirs, which is one thing I like about them. These are the Panther. Yeah, I like that. Purple and black. I'm not a big purple person per se, but purple. Oh, somebody told me, I think it was in the comments from a previous SacAnime video, might have been SacAnime Summer, what this is for. So this is for you roll this in conjunction with the 10-sided die, which isn't, with the D10, and you're supposed to be able to get like percentile, to get like a 99%. I think this one? Yeah, I think this is the D10. Yeah, the point is to roll them together to get percentile. So like I just rolled 84%. So that's cool. I did not know that. I didn't know what the 10 was for, but now I do. And that's pretty cool. Again, I don't play anything that uses these dice. I need to get a display thing or something to put all these in, because I probably have like a dozen different sets of these dice now between them and Foam Grain. And they all kind of like live in their little bags they came in. But I do like those. Those are nice. I'm glad I picked them up. I'm always glad I picked them up. I'm always glad to actually help support Kobold Keep, even if it's just by buying a couple little things from them each convention. I mean, I'm sure they'd appreciate it more if I bought like the $100 Dungeons & Dragons statue, but you know, they're a good booth. They seem reputable. I like them. All right, so finally, here it is. The Cowboy Bebop mystery bag. They said there was a figure and a mystery item aside from that, so probably like a keychain or a little plush or something. I have not peeked. It's not sealed in any way. I haven't peeked into it though. And yeah, there's definitely a plush in here and a box. So let's see what our plush is. We got, well, it's not Ein, but I think it's kind of supposed to evoke Ein. It's very cute. It's like a little corgi. It's Angry Choji the Corgi. A little squishy plush, very soft. Cute and angry. You can hang him up. Yeah, I feel like we're trying to evoke Ein vibes with him, so that's nice. That's thoughtful. And also that's a pretty nice thing. Given that this bag was more expensive than like most of the other bags on the table, I appreciate that we got a higher quality second item. But now let's check out, oh, no, not with that. Let's check out the statue, the figure. What did we get? It's from Good Small. Oh, that's not bad at all. Part of the pop-up parade line is one we've actually seen a lot of there in the last couple years. A Faye Valentine statue. Where's my cutter? Because I'm assuming it's taped shut. I don't know what that's from. Probably from Christmas stuff. Oh, nope, there's tape on this side here as well. So unlike the like Sega arcade ones that we normally get out of these boxes, this one doesn't need to be assembled, so that's kind of cool. Is this taped as well? It is. Well, maybe it's not. I think it's just the plastic that she's wrapped in. And oh no, it is taped. It is taped and all right. Well, some assembly. I'll have to attach her to the base, but get that out of the way. All right, let's put her on the base. I don't know, that's not bad. It's a pretty nice sculpt, decent paint. I think her clothes are a little shinier than they're normally supposed to be, but that's just artistic license. I do like that they filled in the gap on her shoe here with some clear plastic just to make, I think, the foot more stable, less likely to snap off from the base. But nicely done. No parts that like come off of it other than her from the base itself. It's fairly lightweight, of course, because it is just vinyl. But yeah, that's not bad at all. I wouldn't actually mind a spike to go with that. And you know, given that this was a more expensive bag, I appreciate that it's a nice thing. And also the advantage of, you know, yeah, I could have bought a cheaper bag with more things in it, but I ended up like last time where I get 3 statues from series I've never even seen. So at least I have a character from a show that I'm familiar with. It's not a statue I already have, which is nice. And overall, yes, I approve. So we still ended up with 3 statues. It's just 2 of them weren't purchased blind. And I suppose that is going to wrap it up. If you've actually stayed to this end, if you stayed all the way to the end of this video, wow, I mean, big ups to you, because I'm sure this video is over 2 hours long. Once you factor in this stuff. So I appreciate that. I'd appreciate even more if you'd give the video a like. And hey, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, we don't do just convention stuff here, but you know, there's weird foods, and we will be doing a couple Lorcana videos in the reasonably near future. because aside from the Rise of the Floodborne boosters and decks we have to look at, we do have an entire tray of Chapter 1 boosters that we need to sit down, and my wife and I together will open up and see what we got in those. And with that, we'll wrap up another SacAnime Winter 2024 and another video. I hope you found it all interesting and entertaining. Please feel free to comment with a timestamp of where you saw yourself in the video, if you did. And, oh, I don't think I mentioned it. One person did actually recognize my red-green costume, and that was, of all people, Thomas from 5th Gen Not Pokemon. When we were in the vendor's hall, he spotted me. I don't think he immediately realized I had been in this panel. It was after the D&D panel, and did ask to take a picture with me, which I think that was cool because I really enjoyed his and Max's panels. They're the exact sort of thing I want to see in a panel room at SacAnime. These fan panels that are actually like thought out, humorous presentations, not just trivia and shipping ideas. Nothing wrong with those. They're just not for me. So yeah, I think that was also cool too. That was probably a high point. Usually if I'm cosplaying red green, I haven't since like 2020. It's like one or two people that may recognize it, because if you want to be recognized as a cosplay, picking a Canadian show that's been off the air for almost 20 years is a good way to be recognized. But again, end of the video. Thanks to Thomas for recognizing red green. Thanks to all the cosplayers who let me shoot video of them. Thanks to the cosplayers that contributed a Hello Potato to the beginning of the video. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.